All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's Saturday, June the 24th, the year 2017, and many of the prisoners that we advocate for have spent time in a CIA-ran CMU prison, Communications Management Unit prison. I believe they commit torture inside of those prisons with four-point shackling, long times of isolation, psychological warfare. There's a book called Let Freedom Ring that has a section on CMU prisons and the 23 types of Chinese thought reform that they try to implement on prisoners in order to break their spirit and their will. Schaeffer Cox has spent time in CMU prison. Russell Landers is still in a CMU prison. Ed has spent time in a CMU prison. I'm not sure about Miss Elaine Brown. And I think Daniel Riley has spent time in CMU prison. So Lonnie, it's very likely that Lonnie has spent time in CMU, although I'm not 100% sure, but he's certainly at the prison. He's at Terre Haute, Indiana, so whether he's been in the CMU portion of that prison, I'm not sure. So CMU is a prison within a prison, and they absolutely have no transparency, and they commit all kinds of atrocities upon these prisoners, both physical and psychological. So, having said that, there's a video that I want to bring to you guys' attention, and it's called Hakeem Abdul-Shaheed Tells the Atrocities and Torture in Marion Prison. Now, you can watch the video and you can determine for yourself if you believe he's lying. I have not first-hand account, but I have been told that by people I trust that they four-point shackle people naked for over 24 hours at a time. I want you to lie in your bed. I want you to stick both your legs out and both your arms out and just try to do that for 15 minutes. Now try to do it. Now imagine doing that. And you're not even on a bed. You're on a cold concrete slab, naked, with no dignity, and various parts of your body will itch, and you cannot scratch it. It's an absolute horrific thing, and to be there for 24 hours is an absolute horrific treatment of another human being. So you can watch this video of Abdul-Shaheed, Hakeem Abdul-Shaheed, talk about his experience in a CMU prison. This particular man, his name is Will Potter. I don't believe we share anything in common politically. I think he's probably a left-leaning liberal, but at least he understands how bad CMU prisons are. He did a TED Talks on the secret U.S. prisons you have never heard of before. And just recently, my friend Marion helped me find this article that Schaeffer Cox told me to try to look up. It's written in the Huffington Post, and it's how the BOP, Bureau of Prisons, uses CMUs to silence prison riders. It came out on June the 15th. That's only 9 days ago. So I highly recommend you educate yourself about CMU prisons. You know, in Germany, when they had these concentration camps and they were doing the things that they did in the concentration camps, let's just take Auschwitz as an example. Do you think the people in the countryside even knew what was going on inside the camp? Do you think they advertised it? Do you think there was any transparency in how the warden and the guards treated the prisoners? What if the prisoners were innocent? What if the prisoners were simply put there because they were political prisoners and the current establishment didn't like what they had to say? What if the prisoners had some knowledge that would expose corruption on someone in government and they went to a kangaroo court and got convicted? What if that was to happen? And then you have these guards and these prisoners torturing these prisoners and silencing them and controlling all of their communication so they can't get anything out about the truth of the situation. There was a particular paragraph I want to read to you guys. It's this one right here. Whoops. Where is it at? Where is it at? Here it is. Here it is. All right. So I've gone a little bit too big. It's right here. The horrors of the CMU have been around for 10 years, but this new trend of using the units to silence prison riders is a blatant First Amendment violation. Gagging people before they're able to say or write anything is how Wright characterizes it. They're simply trying to control people at every level of their communication before they're able to say it. So please recommend you read this article by Huffington Post, how the BOP, Bureau of Prison, uses CMUs, Communication Management Units, to silence prison rioters. These prisons are run by the CIA, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, JTTF, and CTU, Counterterrorism Unit. And when everybody says get tough on terrorism and war on terror, you guys think of a bunch of brown Arab guys over in the Middle East. They're thinking of white, or they're thinking of political adversaries in America, Christians. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. They are thinking of Christian political prisoners in America. And so you guys need to be aware of CMU prisons. Let me close by saying that the last line of peaceful defense between a tyrannical government and the defendant is jury nullification. Educate yourself about jury nullification at fija.org, Fija.org. Thank you for your time.